You might have seen people talking online who claim the Earth is on a globe but is actually flat. They're wrong, obviously, but there's 5 easy proofs that anyone can check to see why. So let's jump in. I'm going to explain why some people think the Earth is flat and then show you 5 simple proofs that it isn't. The reason why some people believe this is crazy is because they look around them and see that the land and the horizon appears flat. So they assume the whole Earth must be flat. They tend to distrust science and research and instead cling to old conspiracy theories. A lot of the time they'll say things like, "Oh, those space photos are fake, or they're made by NASA, the government, who we shouldn't trust." And perhaps the biggest problem is that they often confuse perspective with proof. Just because something appears one way to us doesn't mean that's how the world actually works. A good example of this is if you look at these 2 photos of Mount Fuji. Obviously, the second photo shows Mount Fuji is a circle. But what does the first photo show? Does it look circular or flat? Well, the answer is it depends on your perspective. If you were looking at this mountain from the side, you would see it's round. But if you were looking at it head-on, it would appear flat. This is important because for most of human history, people had no way of knowing what Earth really looks like. They couldn't take pictures from space. They could only look out over the horizon from the ground. So it's understandable why they thought the Earth was flat back then. But now we have lots of proof it's a sphere. And the best part is much of this proof is very easy to check yourself. It shows that the Earth isn't flat, but is actually round. First off, ships disappear over the horizon. You've probably seen ships in the distance bobbing up and down on the water. But when they sail far enough away, they don't just get smaller and smaller. They slowly disappear bottom first. This happens because the Earth is curved and the ship is hidden from view. If the Earth were flat, we'd just be able to keep seeing the ship as it sailed away in the distance. In this picture, this boat has sailed further than this boat, but it hasn't disappeared. Why not? Because it's still within the curve of the Earth. If you want to check this for yourself, go to a beach and watch a ship sail away until it disappears. Next is the Earth's shadow on the moon. When there's a lunar eclipse, the Earth casts a shadow on the moon. Now, the shape of this shadow is always round, no matter where you are watching from on Earth. This is because the Earth is a sphere. If you took a flat disk and tried to line it up perfectly in front of the sun, well, there are multiple places the shadow could touch the moon and it wouldn't be round. For example, it could be shaped like this or maybe like this, but a round shadow can only be created by a sphere. If you don't believe me, try it yourself. Take a flashlight and a ball and place them on the ground facing the moon. Turn the light on and see what shape the shadow makes. It'll be round. Then move the ball around and you'll see the shadow changes shape as more and more of the light gets blocked by the ball. Eventually, the shadow will become almost a perfect circle. Another proof is the different night skies. If you look up into the night sky in the northern hemisphere, you'll see a group of stars form what's called the Big Dipper, or the Plough. If you follow the handle of the dipper up and to the left, you'll eventually see the North Star, also known as Polaris. Polaris is almost directly above Earth's North Pole. If you're in the southern hemisphere, you won't be able to see Polaris. That's because the Earth is curved. If it were flat, Polaris would be visible from anywhere on Earth. Instead, people in the south see a different group of stars that form a pattern known as the Southern Cross. These 2 constellations are completely opposite each other on the globe. If you want to check this for yourself, ask someone who lives in the southern hemisphere what they can see in their night sky. Or you can do a quick Google search and find out for yourself. Next is airplane flights. Most flight paths around the world make little sense if the Earth is flat. If we were all living on a flat plane, flying from London to New York would take just 3 hours. But because the Earth is round, the shortest flight path between these 2 cities takes over 6 hours. Flight paths around the poles also only make sense on a globe. If the Earth were flat, people living near the North Pole wouldn't be able to fly south. They'd have to fly around the world to get there. Time zones also only work on a round Earth. If the Earth were flat, the sun would rise and set at the same time everywhere. Finally, there are thousands of photos of Earth from space taken by satellites and even astronauts on the International Space Station. These photos show a round Earth. There are literally hundreds of thousands of images taken by spacecraft, and not one of them shows a flat Earth. In fact, there are images of Earth taken from every country on Earth, and many were taken by private companies, not just NASA. All of these photos show the same thing, a blue and white sphere. The Earth looks flat when we stand on it, but science, observation, and even your own eyes prove it's a sphere. Believing it's flat is like saying the sun never rises. It just ignores reality. Thanks for watching.